because of the power, of the electricity. You can see now, it's dark.
Are you going to survive in your business?
I don't think so.
The leaders in government have been categorical that the nation cannot industrialize without the large, sovereign and stable energy. The minister Yakuba Zabarguba publicly said that nuclear energy was the sole viable option to the doubling of electricity generation in the country by the year 2030. Those countries that possess poor hydropower potential and unreliable thermal generation just do not have an option. This is the reason why the heavy convoys were so symbolic. They appeared as the first steps of the nuclear future the country was being promised to the people. The thing that most people forget is this: a nuclear plant cannot be developed on a weak grid. Even initial stages of construction of a nuclear plant require huge, continuous electricity. The cranes, cooling machines, welding machines, security perimeters, and 24-hour monitoring machines cannot operate under a weak grid that is full of blackouts. In case the grid fails, the construction fails. This is the reason why alternative sources of power are coming in such a fast rate. Although the mysterious convoys are not officially identified as nuclear-related, they still serve the same purpose to stabilize the grid before the foundation of the reactor is laid. In Turkey, the AXA Energy is now constructing a 119-megawatt fuel oil plant in Ouagadougou, a single plant that would contribute close to a third of the total current capacity of the country. It is no minor upgrade but a project that will strengthen the nuclear decades to come. Silent solar extensions, new transformers, enhanced transmission lines. All the nation is being rewired to something way bigger than typical grid extensions. Due to nuclear energy, it needs a stable and upgraded national backbone. Many years before the first brick is pounded, however, there followeth the other question. Since these upgrades are so essential to the nuclear project, why will not the government publicly associate them? The answer lies in strategy. This project is being constructed by Ibrahim Traoré. It is not a road that is built using nuclear development. As soon as a leader publishes all the steps, a pressure set in at all levels: geopolitical, financial, diplomatic. Projects are hindered as international institutions commence providing advice. Critics mobilize. Decisions are attempted to be influenced by foreign powers. Traoré has learned something. Little countries have to construct giant technologies silently. That is why it was calmly stated that cooperation with Rosatom was initially announced in 2023. It outlines the silence of the 2025 deals, and it describes why the energy reinforcements that are occurring currently are being characterized as normal upgrades as opposed to nuclear preparation. Silence protects progress. It avoids unwarranted discussion. It avoids domestic division. It protects the project against foreign interference. And it allows the government space within which to develop the background before the world responds. The same strategies were employed by other countries as well: the UAE, Egypt, even South Korea in its initial nuclear development. Quiet groundwork. Controlled disclosure. When the project becomes uncontrollable, then it is announced publicly. Burkina Faso seems to be on the same course. However, there is one thing that one can understand behind such silence, and that is the fact that the nation is far nearer to starting physical nuclear construction than many individuals believe. Rosatom does not enter into binding agreements unless both parties are willing to execute the same. After the final agreements were negotiated in the middle of 2025, Burkina Faso officially went through the pre-construction phase. This involves site assessment, feasibility tests, nuclear safety laws, and engineer training, all in progress. They are the steps that hardly generate news, but they are the foundation of the nuclear development. The massive AXA Energy plant is grid reinforcement, and it fits in the global patterns of timelines of Rosatom. Assuming the steady pace of growth, a start of the site preparation can be expected in 2026 to 2027, which is within the range of nuclear development standards globally. And when site preparation comes, all is different. As soon as the clearing of the land, laying the foundations, and laying perimeter systems begin to be taken by heavy machinery, the nuclear project becomes noticeable. It becomes irreversible. No longer a rumor. No longer a theory. It is turned into a physical change which reconstructs the country. And once that day arrives, Burkina Faso will never be the same anymore. A nuclear project will be an indication to investors that the country is prepared to embrace industries where the requirement is stable power. Factories, data processing plants, agro-processing plants all come to fruition. Thousands of jobs emerge. Construction, engineering, logistics, environmental management, safety operations. Nuclear power is an economic driver way before the reactor is turned on. The social life also changes. Power outages are a rarity and not the order of the day. Schools do not close down. The hospitals use superior equipment that does not depend on loud generators. Businesses can expand. Electrification of the rural areas becomes viable, but not imaginary. Power ceases to be a constraint and moves on to be a building block. Burkina Faso is more difficult to persuade geopolitically. Energy independence eliminates one of the largest tools foreign powers play to control developing countries. A nation that has its nuclear backbone is not easily controlled or destabilized. The bigger picture of the sovereignty through infrastructures appears before our eyes, and the psychological effect upon the citizens will be serious. During decades, Burkina Faso has been informed about what it is not able to do. A nuclear project demolishes the story. It demonstrates that the country is able to master technologies that are generally the reserve of world powers. It puts Burkina Faso in another category, not an underdeveloped country awaiting development, but a developing country. And as soon as construction begins, even West Africa will move. Neighboring countries will be looking on, some with curiosity, others with admiration. The successful nuclear project will encourage other people to stretch themselves. Due to the fact that Burkina Faso is becoming a strong reality, the growth is not an inherent thing. It is something you build. And once the nuclear plant is finally turned on, the future of the country will never be the same again. New time will come, but it will not be characterized by lack, but by potential. A Burkina Faso, which did not want to be desperate, but ambitious, the country that decided to redefine its fate.